What makes someone unforgettable? It's not always beauty, status, or charisma. Often, it's something less obvious, something quieter, more powerful, mystery. Humans are wired for curiosity. When we don't know everything about someone, our minds fill in the blanks, often with idealized versions. Your silence, your restraint, your ambiguity creates a space where people can imagine. That space becomes a magnet. Mystery isn't emptiness. It's a canvas, and people are drawn to what they can't fully understand. A mysterious person rarely reacts impulsively. They pause. They observe. And that composure signals strength, emotional discipline in a noisy world. In a culture of instant reactions, your restraint sets you apart. It forces others to lean in, to wonder what you're really thinking. And that wonder? That's where attraction begins. You don't reveal everything. And when you do, it matters. Mysterious people aren't cold. They're intentional. They share fragments, just enough to connect, not enough to become predictable. This contrast, the tension between distance and depth, makes you emotionally compelling. People don't chase what's fully available. They chase what feels rare. When your identity isn't fully defined, people project their desires onto you. They see you not just for who you are, but for who they hope you might be. That ambiguity gives your presence multiple meanings. You become adaptable, intriguing. You're not stuck in one box, and that freedom is captivating. You don't need to prove yourself with loud declarations. Your mystery is your quiet confidence. It says, I don't need validation to exist, and that self-assurance makes people want to earn your attention. Why? Not just receive it. You're not chasing the spotlight. You are the spotlight, and you shine even when you're hidden. Mystery doesn't mean absence. It means presence without explanation. And in a world where everyone is performing, your silence becomes an act of rebellion. In the next part, we'll explore how mystery builds influence, not just attraction. But for now, protect your mystery, because AOTM's not a weakness. It's your most powerful currency. Most people rush to fill silence, but when you don't, something shifts. People listen more closely. They notice your pauses. Your quiet becomes a question mark, and people instinctively lean in to find the answer. You don't chase attention. You create gravity. Not by speaking more but by speaking less and letting the silence do the work. The most powerful people in the room often say the least. Why? Because what's unclear becomes open to interpretation. You don't need to define yourself fully. When you leave space for uncertainty, you let others project their assumptions, often in your favor. Ambiguity becomes a tool, a shield. It protects your truth while enhancing your presence. There is influence in knowing what not to say. In a world addicted to commentary and oversharing, the one who holds back stands out. Restraint signals maturity. It shows you're not controlled by ego. That kind of self-possession builds quiet respect. People start to measure their words around you. Because you, TM, are not broadcasting your every thought. You're broadcasting control. Mystery makes your presence more intense. It sharpens your energy, focuses your space. People become aware when you enter a room, because your vibe doesn't TM, scream. It resonates. You become the one others watch, even if they don't know why. It's not about being loud. It's about being undeniably there. When people know everything about you, they stop paying attention. When they know just enough, they stay curious. Curiosity is the foundation of influence, and mystery sustains that curiosity. People want to be close to what they don't fully understand. Your unknowns become the force that draws them in again and again. Influence isn't always about saying more, doing more, or being seen more. Sometimes it's about knowing when to pull back. Let your mystery speak louder than your voice.
Curiosity is what keeps people emotionally invested. When you don't offer everything up front, people naturally want to know more. They ask questions, they pay attention, they don't get bored because there's always something unfolding. Mystery keeps the connection alive. It creates emotional movement, like pages of a story that aren't finished yet. Overexposure can dissolve attraction, constant access breeds emotional fatigue, but mystery creates space. Space to wonder, to reflect, to miss you. The healthiest relationships don't cling, they breathe, and mystery is how you create that air, the space for someone to reach toward you without being smothered. Mystery doesn't mean emotional coldness, it means revealing your layers at a natural pace. When you share depth over time, it feels earned. It builds trust, not tension. Real intimacy isn't a flood, it's a slow dive. And mystery is the silence between the waves. The mysterious don't chase connection, they invite it. They allow others to come closer, but they never beg to be seen. This creates an energetic shift. You become the one others seek, not because you play games, but because you value yourself enough to let people earn access to your world. The mystery you hold doesn't just create a rush, it creates depth. It keeps relationships from becoming routine. When your presence feels layered, people stay curious even after years. You're not just interesting, you're enduring. And that kind of connection, it outlasts everything else. Mystery isn't about withholding love. It's about offering love with intention, with rhythm, with respect for your own emotional complexity. When you share less, you lose less.
You don't offer your soul to just anyone. That makes your energy sacred. You become harder to read, harder to manipulate, harder to drain. In a world of constant access, your limits become your strength, and your silence becomes self-respect.
People may ask, why are you so quiet? Why don't you share more? But you are not a performance. You don't owe your story to every stranger. Keeping parts of yourself private isn't arrogance, it's sovereignty. Mystery is permission to live unedited, and that permission belongs to you. You don't need to constantly move, post, or react to be powerful. Stillness holds weight. When you're centered, quiet but rooted, you radiate something unshakable. People feel it. You don't overpower, you anchor. Mystery teaches you this. Your calm is louder than their noise. Mystery frees you from comparison. You don't need to keep up, outshine, or outperform. You move on your own timeline in your own rhythm. While others compete for visibility, you build substance. You become known for your gravity, not your volume. In the end, mystery brings you back to yourself. It reminds you that not everyone deserves access, that your depth is real, whether anyone sees it or not. You no longer seek permission to exist. You carry your value quietly, and that is power. Mystery is not a mask. It's a boundary, a rhythm, a form of inner wealth. In a world obsessed with showing everything, your choice to hold something back makes you rare, quietly magnetic, deeply powerful, and impossible to forget.
You don't need to speak to be understood. You need to choose when to speak. The mysterious don't waste words. They speak with precision, and when they do, it lands. Start replacing filler talk with intentional silence. Don't rush to fill every pause. Let people wonder what you're thinking, because the moment you stop over-explaining, people start leaning in. You don't owe the world your entire story. The more you protect your inner world, the more powerful your presence becomes. You can be kind without being completely open. Respect your own privacy. Speak on your past, your pain, your dreams, only when it serves you, because mystery begins where overexposure ends. Predictability is comfortable, but mystery lives in the unexpected. Don't broadcast your every move. Change your routine without announcing it. Take up new habits, new places, new ways of being, quietly. Let people see just enough change to wonder what's going on in their world. Not everything needs an audience. Mysterious people notice things. They don't rush into conversations, they read them. They don't dominate rooms, they study them. Watch more, listen deeply. When you observe rather than perform, your awareness becomes your power. You start to speak only when it matters, and when you do, people listen. True mystery is layered, but it doesn't beg to be unwrapped. Read deeply, think deeply, move with depth, even when no one's watching. Let your values guide you silently. Let your presence hint at complexity, without displaying it like a trophy. The more you build yourself in private, the more compelling your energy becomes in public. You don't need to pretend to be mysterious. You need to become someone whose inner world is richer than their outer performance. That kind of depth doesn't just attract people, it keeps them guessing and respecting.